K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Breaking news from the K98 Talk News Desk. Joe the tax cheat has found out to be...
You're a liar! You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar!
Ha ha!
Game on, where progressives fear us and rhinos tremble. Welcome to the political jungle. I'm JD.
This is Stacey. No one is safe. No one is spared.
Lock up the children.
And the old folk.
Welcome to the world of the libertative conservatarian.
That's right. We found out about Joe the tax cheat. Good evening. Tuesday, October 21st, 2015, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's JD and Stacey here for Game On that K98 Talk. Everybody right now within the sound of my voice, get over to that K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Talk to the smartest, naked, listening radio audience in the business. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Did you know it was Tuesday, Stacey?
I did, or I wouldn't be here.
Ooh.
If it was Monday, I'd kind of be sitting here all by myself.
You know what happens on Tuesday?
No.
Listen here.
I've been thinking about some things I thought I'd never be thinking. Too many drugs dropped into my mouth, looking for something new, but I end up drinking.
That's right, baby. Too many drugs dropped into my mouth. Tonight we're going to be talking about the GOP sold to the man in the corner. The GOP may be seeing Trump as inevitable and may just go to war over it, but the Dems are in an even bigger disarray. Uncle Joe coming after Grandma, baby, yeah. More robots. No, they're not stupid, you dirty bastards. Harry loves Paulie, and Grandma gets whacked at dinner. But before we go into anything else, my lovely co-host was just reminding me before the show and I had completely forgotten. She said, "You know what, JD? You got to remind everybody in the audience who's 4-1 in the AFC East right now." Who is that? And before you get too mad, Eli got me some fantasy points. Remember, guys, we're not just here Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. for Game On. We're here live again on K98 Talk. Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard for another edition of Game On. Sunday mornings, we shift gears, baby, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard for that Bloody Marys and broadsheets, your cure for your mainstream media hangover. Fridays, 5 p.m., we're on that WNJC, 1360 a.m., serving that South Jersey, Philadelphia, Northern Delaware. Everybody, after the show, not now, after the show, get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey. I highly recommend, I think it's up on Spreaker right now under JD and Stacey. It is Friday's 1360 WNJC interview with Joseph Levine, one of the smartest people that we've had on the show, no?
Absolutely, and we're going to be having another smart person here on the show shortly. We got news today.
Oh, yeah? Are you going to tell me about this? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did. One of my favorite people and my favorite former guest, Jay Cost from the Weekly Standard.
Woo! Everybody,
Jay
give
Cost.
it up. Oh, man, Jay Cost coming with that Southern history, baby.
He's actually coming with the dangers of cronyism.
Oh, that's everywhere. Hold on. Let me reset our audio bubble here for the audience, kids. All righty. We're back in business here on K98 Talk. Jay Cost is, you know what? It's such a great story of, and yes, we will get to the robots who are not stupid at the at the end of the show. It really is a great story of really the less than a year, you know. We end up with our dippy little friends and family only radio show.
No, we got more friends.
No, when it started out, and here we are up on the fourth largest media market in the country on that 1360 WNJC, and you know, lucky enough to be on Radio Row at CPAC last February, and Jay Cost and what was the girls? Who the hell? Javelin. That's how good their reps were. When we got Cost with Jay Cost was he was represented by Javelin at the time, and
we were nobody.
oh my God,
we were nobody. But Jay Cost had more fun with us than anyone else on Radio Row.
Oh, I mean, listen. Basically, he got down there and he's like, "Oh, well, what station are you with? And what are you guys doing here?" And Stacey and I were like,
"Don't you do it! Don't you! I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go."
Well,
and then one of the Vitos asked him,
"You ever seen a grown man naked?"
Okay, I'll be good.
I got nothing after that. I really got nothing. Thank you. You are now in a timeout. We are in a soundbite free rest of the first segment.
You just made me cough. Nobody puts JD in the corner, baby. You know what happens when you put JD in the corner?
Seriously?
JD go, he start partying in the corner, huh? I don't know why this Orb of the Greek music just makes me so happy.
No clue. So we will be bringing Jay Cost back to the show, and I'm also working on a favorite of a few of our listeners, and a good friend of the show actually does our bumper music, Mr. Rachel.
Oh, that Alfonso Rachel, baby. And for those of you who are not familiar with Alfonso, and one of the most honored Stacey and I have ever been, when I was out in California filming that Flipside show, baby, with that Michael Loftus for JD and Stacey, Alfonso comes up to the corner, and he's the drummer for 20 Pound Sledge. And we're sitting there talking. I'm Alonzo, we're going up on radio in Philadelphia. I said, we use your bumper music on the show. Is this something we can continue to use? What a great guy, so gracious. For those of you who like some kick-ass, badass music, here's a little 15 seconds, a little taste of Alfonso Rachel and 20 Pound Sledge. That's got me going, huh, babe?
Yeah, love us some Alfonso Rachel. And if you're not familiar with his political talk and videos, he is out on PJNet TV and really brings some interesting perspective to the culture wars.
Very, very interesting. Okay,
and,
so
20 Pound will be going on tour here just in a little while, and we'll be letting you know a little bit more about that.
One more little taste. This is what you're going to be getting at a 20 Pound Sledge concert. All right, leading off the politics in segment number 1 is the GOP frontrunner.
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
I must tell you, JD is still of the opinion the clown car will go off the cliff, but it is getting a little far down the road, and I think it is starting to ruffle some establishment, not even establishment, but really vocal conservative feathers now, not just the great unwashed with the pitchforks and torches, right?
Well, I mean, I think part of it is, you thought, well, summer's kind of the silly season. A lot of people aren't really paying attention. Kids are out of school. Once we get past the first couple of debates here and there's serious policy, positions put on the table, people are going to start to see things differently. And, what I've been amazed by and is just Donald Trump's continual ability to be able to throw complete red herrings out there and keep people completely freaking distracted and arguing about things that just don't matter.
Okay. But we are always hammering on this show that our guys don't know how to politic. And they don't. Let's go back to FDR, all right? Because everybody knows that if you're a real progressive elitist and you're at the brie and cheese New York Times cocktail parties, then you say that progressivism basically started with Woodrow Wilson, don't you know, at the turn of the century. But, for most progressives, history began the day that FDR got elected in his first term. And what was FDR's mantra? I mean, it's in all the background papers. I mean, this is something he was very proud to say. Spend, spend, spend. And then elect. There's something else in it, But basically, I'm going to give away all the goodies to the people and try to be a populist. And this goes back to Donald Trump, and it goes back to conservative candidates not being able to politic because conservative Republicans have lost either 5 of 6. They've lost the popular election in 5 out of 6 or 6 of the last 7 presidential elections. I want you to think about that, okay? George W. Bush won legitimately, but he lost the popular vote. And we have been told as conservatives time and time and time again, well, you have to vote for this guy because basically the Republican Party has decided that they're going to run a $1 billion general election campaign, and they do the cycle in and cycle out on what they think are the 20% in the middle. And they're so afraid to offend anybody with any kind of principles or values or anything like that, you end up with McCain, and you end up with Romney, and you end up with HW, and you end up with W. The last time the GOP ran on a truly conservative platform and ran a truly conservative candidate, you know who that was? Ronald Reagan. He won 500 and something electoral votes in his 84 election against Mondale, who lost 49 states and just squeaked out his own home state of Minnesota.
Yeah, what I found interesting, and there was a lot of press about this in the last couple days, is some of both the trends that have changed. So prior to Trump announcing, if you polled Republican voters and people who had voted in the last elections, they prefer governors over senators, and they want people with a proven record at a rate of 57% as opposed to someone with new ideas at a level of 36%. That seems to have completely flip-flopped.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
not only that, the other thing I found really interesting was that, we haven't forced this man in the election process to this point to spend any money. There was actually a story that broke late last week or over the weekend about some ties he actually has to a super PAC. So his whole thing, nobody's raising money for me and taking money from wealthy people, is absolutely not true. And his supporters completely ignore that. But, the RNC has said they're not going to get involved. So I kind of have to respect the committee and at least saying we're not going to take a side on either side of this. But the folks that are saying, no, we're not going to let this happen, are really out to force him to spend money. And so the folks like, who did he send the cease and desist to? Club for Growth. Club for Growth and other conservative activists and activist PACs are going to start hammering Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina with anti-Trump ads, saying he's not a conservative, saying he's not a Republican, pointing out holes in his policies, et cetera, and force him to spend the dollars to combat it. You can't do all of that through free press, which is what he's existed on to this point. But the other thing that I found really interesting is there was a comment in Byron York's article towards the end. Can these folks get people to buy into the conservative orthodoxy as defined by DC? I don't think the conservative orthodoxy is defined by DC at all. If you look at most conservative pundits, if you look at the folks at NRO, if you look at the folks, at Free Beacon, they're no happier with the establishment Republicans and what's going on in Washington, D.C. than the vast majority of Trump supporters are. They just don't see Trump as the solution.
When you bring up Grover Norquist, you know who he looks exactly like to me? Grover Norquist, the president of the Club for Growth. He looks exactly like Doesn't he look like a bearded, glasses, like Jorge Villachez? He's a little skelly man.
I don't think he's that short.
Whatever. He is on the teletubes. But I think that what everybody is missing, I think that what our people are missing again is how to politic and how to push back on this. Because, as far as Trump goes, you do have to prepare yourself for the fact that he might be the nominee, and then you're going to have a conversation about where does he actually stand? Would he actually get a cabinet and not sit there with his finger on the button? But I think that from a conservative point of view, I think, and this is what I don't understand about the other candidates. And I know, this one issued a press release and stood on a corner and said, "Listen to me." But there are three major planks in Trump's candidacy and his background. I mean, that really should just be. They shouldn't even be wake up calls. I mean, they should be deal breakers for conservatives. And those are, one, his support of Kelo and his repeated support of eminent domain, to the point of explaining to all of us rubes how much we don't understand it, because he doesn't think. Don't get it wrong, folks. He doesn't think the rest of America done like the rest of the GOP. See you hoopers. But wait a second. See, you have.
He's part of the urban elite, without a doubt. He thinks many people are stupid.
You have his support of Kelo and eminent domain. You have his tax plan, which I found incredibly progressive, because from a just a libertarian fairness perspective, I don't understand how a flat or a fair tax isn't the way to go. But here I'm hearing you're going to have more people exempted, and then you take a look at what his blanket statements on health care have been. That it's going to be, basically it's going to be Obamacare, but in the Trump helicopter, so it's going to be really,
it's going to be Trump
cool.
care, Donald care, something.
Right.
Well, what I've found most distasteful, I guess, in the last week or so.
Well, you better find it in less than a minute. We got to go to break.
Yeah. So we go into two days worth of bashing George W. Bush for the Iraq War, 9/11, and poking Jeb Bush about it. And then you have him putting out a video of all the nice things that Bill Clinton has said about him today. I honestly believe he's starting to pander to some of the center-left Democrats, if they exist. I'm not sure they do, but maybe they do, who looked at that debate and said, "Oh my God, what is the Democratic Party turned into?"
He is, and listen, from appeal for from a purely political point of view, don't sell out the fact that, his internal polling and his people are not looking really to necessarily grab the conservative base, though it does surprise me of how many people within the base believe that this guy is a true conservative. I mean, it has the authors of conservatives just being
Who is your daddy? And what does he do?
But we're going to figure that all up on the other side, because when we come back, we got very, 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 very good news. You know who's in even more disarray? The party that's got this guy as a candidate.
Boom, boom, boom.
How can you ever pass up an opportunity to make fun of Uncle Bernie?
Okay, terrific.
JD and Stacey here at K98 Talk. Diamond Dave, take us to break.
One break coming up.
Hey folks, Slickery Trigger here. I'd like to take a minute to tell you about Rebel Road Tactical. As a defensive pistol instructor, I've had the opportunity to observe many different holster designs and configurations. And one thing is clear. Many of my students won't carry a pistol. Or worse, they'll carry one without a holster at all. Holster designers aren't making holsters for normal people. It seems that most holsters are either an expensive piece of gear designed for Rambo or a piece that doesn't fit or function the way real people need it to fit and function. So, like any good Texan, I decided to learn to form codex and design one myself, one that would fit the needs of average people. The result is the Rebel Road Tactical CRT Modular. The CRT stands for Carry, Range, and Training. Its thin and lightweight curved design minimizes printing and is adjustable to fit just right for superior comfort and function. Check us out after the show at rebelroadconcealed.blogspot.com.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan.
This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you can build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Red Nation Rising brings you Town Hall Radio.
From a single tweet to 3 million a month, our community is a force to be reckoned with on social media.
So don't miss our show, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on K98 Talk.
Our chat room is our co-host, and you ask the question.
Join us and be heard.
So get ready to sound off on Red Nation Rising Radio. No one else is going to do it for you.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in.
You keep
this
hitting your
Monday,
refrigerator?
10 p.m.
Yep,
Eastern,
yep.
Where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
I'm going to listen to me, that Daniel Stafford. I think me and that fella get along just fine. I bet you he's got a sling blade. Everybody right now, get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey, the smartest, funniest, nakedest listening radio audience in the business. JD and Stacey here, back on K98 Talk for Game On. Remember, guys, we're not just here Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're here Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard as well for another live edition of Game On. Sundays, we shift gears at 11 a.m. for that Bloody Marys and broadsheets, baby. Your cure for that mainstream media hangover. Everybody after the show, get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey. Check out our interview last week with Mr. Joseph Levine, live from Israel. Oh, and for those of you in the chat room, the listening audience, I'm going to answer about 42 emails in one statement. And for the audience, we have some great new parodies online to bring to the audience. JD's just been so back to front with so many things. He's been all over the place. Been on that flip side show, baby, with that Michael Loftus. We're going to get to those. And we want to welcome and thank our new Thursday night lead-in, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bell River, baby, that Lou, formerly of that Red Nation Rising, for Whom the Bell Tolls, our favorite new show here on K98 Talk. Correctamundo?
Correctamundo.
Woohoo! So listen, I know you're not the world's biggest Trump fan, okay? So we got to get that whole
Not even close.
We got to get that whole segment behind you, okay? So what JD is, just listen. Just lay back, and I'm going to cleanse you right now. You're going to let the Reverend Billy Bob Bubblenuts come and cleanse the stench of the New York real estate tycoon off here. Let me ask you, do you want to hear the feeling power of Jesus? Tell me. Do you want to? You got to tell me or I can't hear you, baby.
I really can't talk about God and Trump in the same sentence. I really
Ooh, we're going to exorcise the demons.
Okay, terrific.
And for those of you who are new to the show, please remember,
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean shenanigans? No! You're talking about shenanigans, right?
Put those away!
So if you just read the New York Times, the Washington Post, most of the cable news channels, and all of the network, what they refer to as the mainstream media, the media that is written for the Upper West Side of Manhattan and for the denizens of Los Angeles, you would honestly think that the Republican Party is having its Lord of the Flies moment, and they very well may be. All holed up in the House and Senate cloakrooms, naked, using, coat hangers as spears and, having like Star Trek fights or something like that. But, Stacey.
No, we're just ungovernable.
Well, there's an even bigger circus in town right now, isn't there? What color is the tent of this circus?
That's blue.
Ooh, bright blue, right?
But did you hear about the biggest MSM mistake in a while?
Which one? They make them by the hour.
Washington Post inadvertently published a draft of Biden's announcement article to include quotes attributed to Biden's wife.
What?
Making like he had already said he was going to announce. And the Washington Post had to do this huge mea culpa. So yesterday, flying all over the Twitters, Joe Biden's in, Joe Biden's in. And the Washington Post went, oh, crap.
Oh, my God. And
if you read what the text of the article, there were these big X's where they were supposed to insert names of sources and all this other stuff. It was hysterical.
Meanwhile, you got the editorial desk calling up and being like,
shut up!
Oh, my God. But not before the Republican National Committee or someone screen capped the whole thing and reposted it. So the Washington Post's article that was still in draft form that some dummy hit the key to send is now memorialized on another website.
Who gets to fall on the sword? Is there like some 23-year-old, like first-year, flack over there, and then just gets a phone call and walked into HR today and gets a little?
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off!
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
that was
the entire chatter yesterday for, I don't know, about 90 minutes was Biden's in. And then today, not so much. So
Boo Boo is making noises that make you think maybe the Bidens.
Well, Biden's making some noises that saying maybe the Bidens.
But I mean,
he's actually taken on Hillary pretty heavy over the weekend and starting yesterday and today. Now, the White House is like, we cannot confirm or deny. Josh Earnest, we heard that, but whether or not it's true, it'll all sort out.
Something tells me that whenever you take over Hillary, it's heavy.
Okay, terrific.
But Hillary's only real response to this whole thing so far is she had Madeleine Albright play the gender card for her in an email for fundraising and supporters, saying, if Hillary gets elected, she will focus more on the success of girls and women than any other president.
Yeah, you want to
for
know
all of you who vote with your ovaries and things like that.
Yeah, and for all of those who let Girl Scouts vote, great, all right. Hey, listen, we're gonna lock up the 9-year-old vote. I mean, why not? You let everybody else in the.
But I mean, her only response to Biden saying she really wasn't Obama's closest advisor. Actually, I was the last one in the room when we decided to go get bin Laden. He actually sent me to countries to close deals. We had great secretaries of state, but the heads of state knew that I spoke for the president.
Oh, it was.
He is just like slam, and she comes out with, "But I'm a girl."
Let me tell you something. Basically, in that interview, Biden just grabbed Hillary and was like,
"You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?"
I mean, it's
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
But you're right, because did you see them trying to out bin Laden each other?
Mm-hmm.
No, the best part is, and of course I was telling you pre-show about my my little paper fiasco here, running out of paper. So now everything's a complete mess over here. But I wish I had the article that was that we had a couple of weeks ago that was speaking about the supposed leaked story to Maureen Dowd, which ended up being leaked by Uncle Joe himself. Mm-hmm. So, you got Biden man over there dropping a dime to the New York Times, and one of the things they said, he's crafted this story and this narrative how his son, Beau Biden, on his dying deathbed said, the party's legacy, it can't be the Clintons. And they were, and this was Politico, so this is a pretty friendly venue to the vice president.
Right.
And even Politico was saying, well, every time he's told that story, it's never told in exactly the same way. The details change. And, the one he told to Maureen Dowd, by the way, the one that he knew would end up in the New York Times, like a paid-in-kind campaign contribution, that was the one that was the most sad and poignant, where he captured all of Beau's and none of the Clintons and none of the this and none of the that. Meanwhile, I want you to think about something, right? We have not even gotten to.
Boom, boom, boom.
We haven't even gotten to Uncle Speedo. Mr. Vargas, are you in charge here? The colored people yelling.
Well, he hasn't really done anything.
No, but my whole point is, think about what we're discussing right now, okay? You have the FBI. Forget about the Benghazi committee. And then, like McCarthy said, we formed the Benghazi committee. A jackass. But forget about the Benghazi committee for a second. Forget about the politics of it. The FBI, under Loretta Lynch and Obama's Department of Justice, has a criminal investigation and probe open against Hillary Clinton. The FBI does not look for things in case and then jump into.
Right.
So you have a former Secretary of State who is basically being contradicted by a sitting vice president, and she is currently being investigated or probed, however you want to look at it. You know what? Hillary's the only time I would say probe and not think.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.
But you have her under investigation for that. You have Webb dropping out and saying he's leaving the party and maybe running as an independent. You have a socialist running around in a $14 suit, spending $150 in total in his campaign and getting crowds of 50,000 people. and again, this sounds so trite, but turn that around 180 degrees and imagine if that was going on in the Republican Party and what kind of feeding frenzy the press would be having right now.
Oh, my God, just the fact they were all old and white would be a feeding frenzy. But, I mean, seriously, Biden's out there even tearing down her Republican meme. So Hillary gets up in the debate, right,
that was
and
great.
says Republicans are some of her enemies,
Yeah,
right?
we
and
have
Biden's
time.
like, no, the Republicans are our friends. I have great friends that are Republicans. These are people we need to work with.
We have time. Slowly explain what happened there to the audience. We have time. That's a really good point to make.
He is essentially looking more like the person who can actually reach across the aisle and get things done. He has friends that are Republicans. Hillary blatantly called the Republican Party her enemies when she stood on the center of the debate stage.
Well, Hillary doesn't have any friends. I mean,
I mean that's true. I think her granddaughter's still young enough not to know not to like her.
The granddaughter, forget about that. The granddaughter, that's not Chelsea's kid.
But I mean, the other thing, they were actually making the allegation we were talking about earlier on. I was watching Fox right before we came live, and on Megyn Kelly's show, you have people questioning whether Biden has inside information as to what is going on in that FBI investigation, or whether or not somebody else does, and they're really elbowing him in to run because they took one look at that debate stage and said, "Oh my God, if she's out, we're screwed."
Oh my God! Did you hear? Did you hear the audio of Hillary from inside her campaign headquarters?
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
And the funny thing is, the press sees that Hillary's in trouble, and they're not looking for the story on it. They basically, they have to stand as a Praetorian Guard to the Democratic Party. So they're basically probing and prodding Uncle Joe to get in because they would love nothing more. The press would love nothing more than to just go with the narrative of Uncle Joe's dying son's wish was that Uncle Joe be president, so everybody just go home. Why have an election? And to be completely honest, wait a second. Wait a minute. Being completely honest, going back to the first segment, where Trump has a very real possibility of becoming this party's nominee, whoa. Then maybe we deserve Biden. Because if you can't out-politic Joe Biden, who has run twice before, and one of those times had to suspend and stop his presidential candidacy because of plagiarism charges and allegations. Plus, he's a gaffe machine. So this goes back to Donald Trump. Wait, Donald Trump is where he is. Donald Trump is where he is because the other people on our side can't politic worth a good goddamn.
That's part of it, but I would argue that's not all of it either.
I don't know.
I mean, you look at NBC, who gave him the absolute shove off after his comments during his announce. Mm-hmm. Now they're using him to prop up a rating challenge Saturday Night Live. So they're letting him come back because he's generating ratings. That's what he does.
All of the major candidates end up having their run and doing their dance on SNL. And everything in the media is ratings driven. You want to know what? You want ratings? Come out with something. Come out with a plan. Talk to the American people. You want to know something?
And several people have, JD, but people tune in whether they like Trump or whether they hate him. Other candidates tend to draw in the people that like them.
That is excusing the other candidates on our side from continuing to use the same 20% in the middle playbook. Stop trying to have it both ways. Stop trying to tell everybody that you're the most conservative thing since Ronald Reagan. Oh, except I'm kind of liberal on immigration. Or, I'm the greatest thing except since conservatism and Barry Goldwater and Ronald Reagan. Except, you know what, Obamacare is not a bad idea. They're always trying to middle somewhere. You know, look, Trump, love him or hate him, Trump has embraced the fact that he's a scumbag. He's embraced that fact 30 years ago. And you just have people on our side. And don't get me wrong, I'm not somebody advocating that this guy become the nominee, but I am frustrated, and you know this about me. I am frustrated to the high heavens of the lack of politicability, for lack of a better word, on our side. We got a minute left. Take us out.
Well, Mr. Webb took a look at the Democratic Party and a lot of what was being said last week and said, I'm out of here. Views not compatible with the Dem power structure, obviously on national security, military force, and gun control. Stay tuned to see what he might do, because he actually thinks he has a shot at an independent run, and Martin O'Malley may be the most honest Democratic candidate because he cited Biden's age as a downside and said Vice President Biden's generation is already overly represented in the Dem nomination.
You know, it would be an unstoppable, independent, even stronger than Perot-like ticket.
What?
Sanders Chafee. Think about it.
Oh, my God.
Get that saddle into your brains, baby.
Oh, hello, Mr. Vargas. Mr. Vargas, are you
Chafee
in
ran a
charge here?
state the size of a postage
Are you in
stamp.
charge here? The colored people are yelling. The colored people are yelling.
And Jenny and Stacey have lost all control of their own radio show. Coming back to wrap up the show, coming into the top of the hour, we're going to be talking about more Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto. But no, the robots are not stupid. Harry still loves Paulie, baby, and Grandma gets run over at the dinner table. JD and Stacey, K98 Talk. Game on. Coming right back.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in...
Listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works.
President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before.
Did someone say green?
Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind?
Now, do you say good things about me on the show?
No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much.
The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation.
Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo?
I got a pen. I can veto that, you know.
I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it.
Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either.
That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hung over from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level, or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Welcome back to all my political freaks, geeks, and back alley sneaks. JD and Stacey here on Game On K98 Talk. Everybody within the sound of my voice, get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room where evidently I was watching over the commercial break. Everybody is a critic. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the smartest, nakedest listening radio audience in the business. Remember, guys, we're not just here Tuesday nights 10 p.m., Thursdays 9, Sundays 11, Fridays 5 p.m. on WNWN, WNJC, Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey. What interview do we recommend? Hello?
We recommend the interview with Joseph.
That's correct. And for those of you who don't know, depending on the day and depending on the night, there is a lag and a delay sometimes between Stacey and I. So one of us will not hear anything and start speaking, and the other one, and it comes out mixed and garbled. But that's the radio business, baby. We got them 2 tin cans in a string. No, nothing. You're just gonna sit there like Diane Rehm on NPR.
No, my computer just had a seizure.
Okay, so wing it.
Okay.
It's a radio show.
I was afraid it was going to disconnect me.
It's a radio show, not a computer show. It's not going to disconnect you. You know why?
Don't you do it! Don't you! I got nowhere else to go!
You got nowhere else to go.
Sometimes
okay, terrific.
Thinks I do, though.
Is your computer making you all like,
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
All right, so you found this one, I think, to be pretty funny. So why don't you start off segment 3 with why Reid is now blowing Paul Ryan, basically.
Okay, so Harry Reid, to be so helpful because the GOP seems like such a united front in Congress at this point, comes out today and endorses Paul Ryan. Thinks he's a great guy, and they may not agree politically, but boy, he likes that young Mr. Ryan. Oh, my God. So what happens today? Ryan goes into closed-door meetings on the Hill, and instead of trying to listen to maybe the people who had caused a little bit of a problem for John Boehner, he just went around and made it very clear. He didn't want to win with 218. He's either going to be a unifying figure, or he's not going to put his name in the hat.
You know what Harry Reid is? Harry
Reid is the devil incarnate.
Harry Reid is the equivalent of a Saigon sell by the $2 lovey long time hooker. Okay?
Well, yeah, he also led the charge against Kate's Law today, so I just hate him.
He is just a politically disease-ridden, miserable old crooked man.
Mafia boss.
Crooked man. Oh, my God. Harry Reid, audio.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
I mean, you ever want to see something sickening, look into the literal Reid family mafia that they have out there in Vegas, and which son from which shady law firm owns this, or which son from which shady law firm owns that.
And which shady land deal, and on and on and on.
Here's the joke of it all. You know, we have to put this on the soundboard. I don't know, about 5-6 years ago, he's weeping on the Senate floor, but I gotta go home and see my fig tree. See my fig tree, says the old Las Vegas midget. You know what they should do with this guy? They should take him to the top of the Planet Hollywood Hotel, and they should put him in a midget toss, because he is political AIDS. Everything he gets near and touches just is disgusting and skelly, and that's what he's doing.
Well, he's the reason we can't pass anything in the Senate without 60 votes.
Oh, listen, that goes back. You want to talk about sleeper cells and thinking that this one's a plant put in by the Clintons? You know, Mitch McConnell. All right, how did Harry Weed? That was almost a Freudian slip. Harry Weed. Hey, man, it's Howie Weed. You know, Obama gets this disgustingly progressive leftist agenda through a Congress it never would have went through if Harry Reid didn't use the nuclear option and get rid of the filibuster. And then what is the first thing that Mitch McConnell does when Reid goes into the minority? He reinstitutes and gives the most detestable little gnome of a human being scumbag who's ever been Senate Majority Leader and now Senate Minority Leader the steering wheel again.
I know.
So you have Harry Reid. Harry Reid should honestly build a statue to Mitch McConnell. He really should. Because when he was there, Mitch McConnell had absolutely no stones, no gumption, no sign. He was nothing. Gets completely steamrolled, right? So now Mitch McConnell, he's the Senate majority. Nothing.
Well, and he
Nothing.
handed Harry Reid the steamroller.
Oh, you know what? You hand Harry Reid a vibrator and tell him to shove it up his.
Okay, terrific.
Ding, 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 ding.
Way ahead of you. Oh, we're just enough of this jerk off. Although,
and it was as of airtime, I still hadn't heard a decision from Ryan.
I'll tell you what, though. The picture at the top of the Politico article, the one that says read off his surprise support for Ryan as Speaker, it literally looks like Harry Reid is dumping in his Depends as he's up at that podium. Do you have that same picture?
He got himself all bruised and broken by a treadmill.
No. What a BS story. He got himself bruised by two Las Vegas mobsters named Tread and Mill.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Okay, so.
Probably the most interesting quote I heard in this whole Ryan thing, though, including Harry Reid's endorsement, which I just think is troublemaking. I called it trolling, but whatever. That the biggest problem with the Freedom Caucus is that they're responsive to their constituents.
Oh, yeah. That's a real bitch. Hey, listen. Harry Reid from JD Stacey and everybody here at K98 Talk.
Shut up!
All right, enough about this detestable little mobster.
What we like to call the obligatory robot segment.
But no.
Giggity, let's have sex.
This robot uses artificial brain cells to navigate like a human. The behavior and interplay of two types of neurons in the brain helps give humans and other animals an uncanny ability to navigate by building a mental map of their surroundings. Now one robot has given a similar cluster of virtual cells to help it find its own way around. Completely unrelated, have you seen the commercial with the IBM Watson computer and Bob Dylan?
I don't watch TV, so no.
Oh, my God. Bob Dylan is proof that it's not drugs that kill you, it's bad drugs that kill you. Researchers in Singapore...
Or preserve you, pickle you.
Keith Richards fell out of a coconut tree in his mid-70s. And everyone's like...
I know.
No, everyone's
and he's not dead.
Everyone's like, can you believe Keith Richards survived falling out of a coconut tree when he was 78 years old? I'm like, first of all, how many drugs do you have to be on at 78 years old to get your ass up a coconut tree?
Right.
And then he falls out of it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And they say drugs are bad for you.
Drugs are bad, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us
Just say
about,
no, said Nancy.
Tell us about the robots.
Well, the robots apparently now can find their way around a building using these two different kinds of cells that we all have in our brain. I find that
terrific.
Scary.
Wait, I only have two cells in my brain.
That's not my problem. And you can't find your way out of a paper bag. So.
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
That's actually audio of one of my two brain cells. See, the robot stories aren't funny unless they're stupid, right?
Oh, my God. I love Slick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? So you're endorsing robot stupid. You don't think robots should be...
Virgin.
Let's take a poll. Are you for robot stupid or robot...
Virgin.
What are you for?
I'm for robots, like, serving a purpose in an auto manufacturing plant and, like, putting a bolt in. I really don't want them thinking and acting and trying to be humans.
You have two choices, robot stupid or robot...
Virgin.
I don't like either one.
Well, you can't. Why is it women always gotta, you know what, I'll just be over here in the corner like.
I bring nothing to the table.
Okay, so Grandma blew her nose at a very inopportune time, did she not?
Oh, my God. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible story, but I read it and I'm like, seriously?
Honestly, we'll have a parody around Christmas called Grandma Got Run Over by the Redneck.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, like, was a little upset with his grandmother initially, and I don't exactly remember why. But after being called to the home by the woman's daughter, the police show up. He's sitting on the couch. He's like, yeah, I killed my grandmother. What did she do? She sneezed at the table. Seriously?
Oh, my God. Was his name Daniel Stafford? I got me a radio show in K98 Talk. Fastest hour in conservative radio. Wrapping up. We love you, Daniel. Baby girl, you got those keys?
I do. Let's get on up out of here.
Oh, my goodness. Tell the nice people where to find you and what's going on between now and Thursday.
You can find me at Scott's Fire on Twitter, at Stacey Lennox on Facebook, and I will be looking very forward to watching Mr. Gowdy question Miss Clinton.
And you can find me at Game On JD on the Twitters, peering behind Trey Gowdy, trying not to stare in the face of Hillary Clinton. And as always, bar stools, alleyways, occasional donkey show or two, midget tossing places I shouldn't be. If I live through it, I'll see you Thursday.
I'm looking for you, you Occupy freaks with your glitter bombs. Bring it on! Bring on the glitter. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last few years. Conservatives used to take it, and we're not taking it anymore.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.